tell, then dial your operator.
Have no fear, fellow citizens. The Mediator is here.
Good morning and welcome to this week's edition of The Mediator with me, your host, Brian West, here to give you the top 8 headlines and developing news stories that made in this week. Now, as usual, I'll give you the top 8 local headlines and developing news stories that made in first, followed by a movie clip, a skit, a trailer, or something that's going on in the community, or maybe some pictures. And then I'll give you the top 8 international headlines and developing news stories that made this week. So let's waste no time. Sounds like a good deal. Let's get to it. Story number 1, water rates are back in the news. Water bills are the center of attention in Liberty because township water customers pay the second highest water rates in the state. At the moment, Liberty officials are looking for a solution that most likely will only be able to be fixed through legislation. Liberty Township representatives are very concerned about this issue because at the moment, compared to other Trumbull County residents, customers that pay $8.22 per thousand gallon. About 1,500 Liberty customers who get their water from Girard pay a rate of $17.35 per thousand gallons. Now, as time comes for the Girard agreement to expire, Liberty residents will be hoping for a solution. This story is still developing. Story number 2, 11th District Court of Appeals judge seat is up for grabs. So far, 6 people are on board to apply for the vacant seat of the 11th District Court of Appeals. It will be up to Governor Mike DeWine to select the next judge. The seat was formerly held by Republican Judge Matt Lynch from Bainbridge. Lynch, who is about to turn 70, will not be legally allowed to run for a judicial position because state law has an age limit requirement. Now, the list of applicants includes Timothy P. Cannon, who is unlikely to be appointed because he is a Democrat, Sarah Thomas Culver, a Republican from Howland, Natasha K. Natal of Warren, Connie L. Lewandowski of Aurora, Ohio, and Carl L. DeFranco of Ashtabula County. And last on the list is Pamela D. Kurt out of the Lake County area. Now, these are all people who will be applying for that seat or trying to get on, who is Mike DeWine has to appoint somebody in this group. So keep an eye on story number 2. That's why I made it this week. Story number 3, CARES Act provides $1.5 million to Catholic charities. There is a 400 people waiting list for funds released by the CARES Act to assist local residents who are having problems paying their rent. Now, the county provided $1.5 million in rental assistance funds to help pull Americans battling to get through economic hardship caused by the pandemic. Last year, Catholic charities distributed almost the same amount at $1 million. Now, County Administrator Audrey Tillis says the goal is to assist about 700 people. This story proves that local residents are still fighting to get through the hardships brought on by the pandemic. Tillis also pointed out that if a tenant is in need, then landlords can also apply for them as well. So keep an eye on story number 3. That's why I made it in this week. Story number 4, new warnings of unemployment benefit scams. It may be wise to invest in some identity theft protection if you have available funds. There have been numerous reports of people filing for unemployment benefits in other people's names, and authorities have no clue who is responsible for the scams. People are getting letters in the mail from creditors and the unemployment office with their information saying that they've filed and applied for things that they aren't even aware of. Now, if you have been a victim, it may be wise to invest in some identity theft protection or report the fraud to the unemployment office. This story is still developing, and that's why I made it in this week. Story number 5. Jobless claims are declining. One local article points out that jobless claims have fallen to about 779,000 nationally, but this still means that there are some difficult days ahead. Not only are the phone lines at the Department of Job and Family Services tied up, but just with the fact that they're so busy means that the state of Ohio still has an unemployment problem. Some jobs can't be filled because applicants can't even pass the drug test. The story is still developing. Story number 6. How long will the Distress Commission last? State Rep Al Catrona, a Republican from Canfield, like many other local residents, look to repeal and replace what they call the flawed Academic Distress Commission. The bill put 3 school districts in Ohio under an Academic Distress Commission for receiving an F grade. Now, the school districts include East Cleveland, Lorain, and Youngstown. The district is yet to recover from an F grade and just received more money from the government to assist with COVID-19. No matter how hard local activists and officials fight, the fact and the reality is that as long as the F grade stands, there will be problems. And that's why story number 6 made it in this week. Story number 7 and the top 2 local headlines and developing news stories that made it in this week. Concern grows as more relief money comes to local schools. COVID-19 relief money is being spread all around local school districts, and some local residents are very concerned about the spending. Local schools like Youngstown are set to receive up to 18 million, or I think it's, a matter of fact, I think it's $22,338,287 according to a local article. That's a lot of money. Now, last fall, the district received $5,655,164 from the ESSER funds, ESSER funds. Now, the district brought the Chromebooks. They bought Chromebooks for students because the governor's shut down. When he shut down the schools, this left the district to depend on remote learning. Now, Liberty schools are expected to receive about $1,419,668. That's a lot of money in ESSER funds. Now, the main concern at the moment is the cost and accountability that comes with accepting these funds. The majority of teachers, students, parents, and taxpayers are not happy with the orders handed down by the states, but it looks like they're going to have to deal with it and spread the money around some way. Now, there have been grievances that the students are not learning anything and that the teachers' workloads cannot possibly meet requirements. Folks, this story is still developing. Story number 8 and the top local headline and developing news story that made it this week. Gunfire in Youngstown hit homes with children inside. That's not good news. Headlines of gunfire erupted in the news recently. Multiple Youngstown neighborhoods have reported homes being hit by random gunfire. This apparently all occurred while children were inside of the homes asleep. Each incident is still under investigation at the moment. It just seems like the incidents were random with no motives reported yet. The story is still developing. Let's hope Youngstown can get some good news coming soon. Big headlines. Well, those are our top 8 local headlines and developing news stories that I made in this week. I'll be right back with the top 8 international headlines and developing news stories. So don't go anywhere. You're in the Mediator with me, Brian West. I'll be right back.
If you need help, then dial your operator.
Have no fear, fellow citizens. The Mediator